us, folks. Welcome in the ring. Hit that bell for us. Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from. Welcome in the ring, folks. It's our final program for the week. Tomorrow is a holiday, folks. Tomorrow is a holiday, and we're going to be utilizing it. But good to have each and every one of you on the live tonight. Share the live. We're sharing at our end as well. Smash that emoji button. Wherever you're joining us from tonight, good folks, we got some guests dropping by. So it's Pace and Power. Good to see each and every one of you there from the many, many places you are joining us from. The APNU AFC page, the Christopher Jones page, the Camera Drum 10 page, the Alliance for Change page, the Credible Sources page, and our YouTube channel as well. Good to have each and every one of you. Lyndon Gill, Gladys, Abida, John Joe, Tessa Wanella, Cheryl, and all the wonderful, beautiful folks who are joining us tonight. Good to see each and every one of you. How y'all been doing? We are happy, we are delighted that each and every one of you, beautiful folks, y'all are here with us. We do have some guests who are going to be dropping by. Great to see each and every one of you. Share the live for us. Smash that emoji button so that others get the valid, incredible information that you guys like so much. If you find a new value in our program, if it means nothing to you, don't even bother. Don't even bother. But if so be the case, if it's the otherwise, folks, if you are share the live, if you can, use that one of them. Share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button for us. Good to have each and every one of you. As I was saying, we're going to have some guests dropping by. Good to see each and every one of you, folks. How are you guys doing out there? Great to have all of you on the live. And now we say it, folks. We got to fight card set. The fight card set is only you guys holding us back. Hold my shut them man. Y'all holding us back, folks. Y'all holding us back. But good to see each and every one of you there with us. Good to see you all here with us, folks. No time to waste. No, don't be like one of them, you know. Settle down quick. Settle down. We hope that you guys are great wherever you're joining us from. We hope that you guys are well. Pace and power and pace. Boots on the ground. You know we backing on like that. We got the opener set. Good to see you folks. Welcome. Good to see Valetta, Camille, Deborah, Debbie, Gwyneth. Good to have you, Suzanne, Penelope, and all the other folks joining us. We got the opener. Today we had a press conference out of the People's National Congress Reform. Leader of the opposition. Give a fantastic statement. He got in so many things there. Ganesh Mahipal was also on that press conference. Ganesh, good to see you. Thanks for joining us, folks. With Pace and Power and Pace. The PNCR had a press today, folks, and we want to share with you some of what the leader of the opposition said. Folks, that's the opener tonight. Take a look and take a listen. He touched a number of important things. Take a look.
Permit me, first of all, to wish all Guyanese all the best for Matrimony 2024. Guyana FDG Conference is mere pageantry for the incompetent PPP. As Guyana hosts another annual Guyana Energy Conference, it has become starkly clear that despite several important policy recommendations on national development, the government has shown little interest in engaging its minds in these directions. For instance, we can point to recommendations last year made by Prime Minister Keith Rowley, former Colombian President Ivan Duque, and Suriname President Chan Santoki. Some of their points have echoed across conferences and have been widely covered by the media. But the PPP has shown no appetite to give their ideas any further consideration, let alone try to implement them. Former President Duque of Colombia spoke at length about using, I quote, the resources on the ground, unquote, to eradicate, I quote, poverty on the ground, unquote. But the PPP continues to refuse to speak about poverty, as if hoping that it will dissipate like the recent Sahara dust that has clouded our skies. We have spoken repeatedly about the need for a national poverty survey and policies that directly target poverty alleviation. In fact, in our parliamentary debates, we have tabled proposals to address poverty. Those proposals fell on deaf ears. Since the Colombian president spoke, the PPP has spent in excess of Guyana 900 billion and has presented an additional budget of over 1 trillion Ghana dollars for 2024. But it has devoted virtually no policy space to developing a comprehensive social safety net aimed at eliminating poverty in line with the Colombian president's recommendations. Clearly, the PPP has no interest in the eradication of poverty. Their focus continues to be on enriching themselves, friends, families, and favorites. Similarly, we have heard cries for Guyana to spearhead regional economic and energy integration. Prime Minister Stan Toki spoke about Guyana's unique role in our Caribbean community, yet the government has done little to address critical regional issues like environmental risks posed to the Caribbean Sea by oil spills. Sadly, while President Ali beats his chest about Guyana's development, our regional neighbors in Trinidad and Tobago are battling an oil spill from a barge that early indication seems to show was heading to Guyana's shores. This incident has the potential to escalate into a significant point of tension with our Caribbean sister state. And it highlights how critical it is that international cooperation to address such emergencies be fostered. Prime Minister Rowley also stressed the need for international cooperation in the oil and gas sector. At last year's conference, he urged that Ghana makes use of Trinidad's existing refining and natural gas production facilities. Yet, the PPP government has been silent on such attractive linkages and opportunities. These are but a few remarks that reflect the common themes that seem to go over the PPP's head every year. For the PPP, these conferences are merely tools of pageantry and grandstanding, and are not treated as opportunities to forge international partnerships to collectively problem solve and to benefit from the experiences of others. The PPP does not understand this, and so Guyanese are unable to fully benefit from the opportunities that come to our shores each year. Should this trend continue, foreign leaders would recognize that it is PPP pageantry and do not accord them any significance. Opposition reiterates its call for a national approach to defense and security and for an update on the investigation of the Army helicopter crash. Early this month, we noted that President Ali announced plans to reorganize and reorient the Guyana Defense Force through a robust national defense strategy. He's quoted as saying that the government, I quote, aims to create a force that is not only better prepared to address evolving security threats, but is also more effective in dealing with potential aggressors, unquote. We in the opposition are concerned that we have received no briefing or any other communication from the government on this critical national matter. We renew our call for government to treat the country's defense and security not as a partisan in-house matter, but as a matter where the energies of the entire country must be mobilized and united. Moreover, it is an abject failure of the government when Guyanese have to listen to or read international media reports to be informed of Venezuelan military buildups on our border. The government must understand that its duty to the people of Guyana demands that it reports promptly and completely on any such threat to our territorial integrity. Lastly, it has been over 2 months since the crash of the GDF helicopter that tragically took the lives of 5 Guyanese heroes. On behalf of all Guyanese, we call on the government for an update on the investigation of this incident. PPP generators appear to be yet another failed government project. During the severe blackout crisis that plagued Guyana last year, the PPP purchased used generator sets at a cost of US $27 million. Minister Indar committed that these would be installed in time for Christmas. This did not happen. During the budget debates, we instead heard that these generators will be installed by February. Of course, Christmas does not fall in February. As a result of this delay, citizens have once again begun to complain about blackouts multiple times daily and weekly, as the PPP has thus far failed to manage this project properly. We are reliably informed that most of the generators are not functioning, and that those few that are functioning are underperforming. The PPP must immediately come clean to the people of Guyana about the state of these generators, as it would appear that they have once again wasted tens of millions of US dollars of citizens' hard-earned dollars. Some Guyanese may recall our warning that government should acquire an additional 50 megawatts of power to act as redundancy, given the quickly growing national power needs and the reliability issues facing existing generators. This advice was not followed, and now we are yet again facing another blackout crisis. If the PPP cannot even manage the purchase and installation of a few small generators, it is no wonder that they recently pushed back the timeline for the gas to energy project by 6 months. Will this project fail to deliver in the same way that Skeldon failed to deliver? The PPP's relentless incompetence endangers every single project it undertakes. It has a history of failure in handling projects. Thank you. Permit me.
Yep, that was the leader of the opposition, folks, leader of the PNCR. A number of issues, and we could spend the rest of the evening just unpacking some of that. Just unpacking there. And we can touch on a few of them as we go along. I hope I get through the whole fight card and then have our guests. But if our guests come in early, I want to hear from them as soon as they land, as soon as they touch down. If they come in early, we're gonna put aside somebody in front of the fight card so to head to our guests, because I know too you're gonna want to hear from them. I know y'all fast say that. Y'all don't want nothing to detain you. I feel like delicious, juicy piece of information. Good to see each and every one of you there. Guys, welcome wherever you're joining us from. Share the live and smash that emoji button. Let me give you guys a sense of some of the things happening around the world. There's plenty. It's enough. You know what? Before I head there, y'all know who I saw come back today? Back on the scene? Take a look. Take a look and take a listen.
What is really happening together? In front of our eyes, we're being overtaken, and we're allowing this to happen. What is supposed to have been an area meant for recreation for the people of Guyana in Georgetown has been taken over by the Assets Group, and they're going to build hotels here. They started there, and this is going to go all the way up past the NIS ground, as we know it to be the NIS ground. How can we simply sit by and allow one man, Jack Deal, to simply take away the assets that belong to us and sell it out onto the table to his friends and family? Guyanese, what are we really doing?
Yep. That was Brian Max, folks. Brian is back. I just want Brian to literally watch his back this time. You know them boys just sneak up on Brian. And I know Brian was getting a couple good punches. But I just want him to be careful out there. Back on it, folks. Back on it. Y'all saw that? That is a piece of land, the piece of real estate we've been showing you guys on Carifest Avenue. That them boys sell out to next to nothing. 10 years. Tax-free. Bring whoever they want. Oil, boat, whoever they want. Bring it. Tax-free. We following that. Go to see Brian back on his feet. Watch it back, Brian. Watch it. You know the boy sneak up on you. The boy sneak up on you. And I have no doubt Brian is going to get in a couple punches. I have no doubt about that. You see? But folks, let me show you some what we're covering around the world very quickly because I really want to come home. You remember that case that was recently won by Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, in which Trump is now saddled with a $300+ million in damages to pay. And then Trump come out with a sneakers. He's trying to raise funds now to pay off that $300+ million. You remember that? That's the sneakers. That's the sneakers. Well, hold on. That is the sneakers. Right? That's the sneakers. Well, I was made to understand that the Attorney General launched on sneakers. It's a sneak attack. The Attorney General launched her own sneakers, folks. That is Trump sneakers. The Attorney General launched her own sneakers too. Who's doing it better, folks? Who is doing it better? You launch your own sneakers. Don't come around with funny like that. Don't come around with funny like that. She launched. I love it. You wear some nice blue jeans. They can't hold you. Unless you're in a cell. Cheryl Glenn, Everett Leonard. Unless you're in a cell. Who wore it best, folks? Real thing. Real thing. Happening around the world, folks. Look, talk show host. The one and only, the beautiful Wendy Williams. She's been diagnosed with dementia. Yeah. Wendy Williams diagnosed with dementia. So sad to hear that. So sad. So sad to hear this news. Diagnosed with dementia. They tell us it's the same kind that actor Bruce Willis has. But if you know who's Bruce Willis, you're too young in this thing, right? We give side notes in this program. Wendy Williams has been diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia. It's a mouthful. Primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia. You must say a prayer for our sister. Right? You know, when you unpack your story, you well unpack, you took and you came. Well, when you unpack you know, the folks who were taking care of her says that she's receiving the best care possible, folks. She's receiving the best care possible. Yeah. Did what she had to do, and now she's taking some much-needed rest. Much-needed rest. Some of the things we're following around the region, there's a lot happening. There's a lot. Don't impersonate people. There's a lot of cunning things in this place, you know. Stop Golden Belly's got herself a problem. She tried to impersonate a whole minister, you know. A whole minister, got people sending her money and all kinds of story. Well, she behind bars now, appeared before a magistrate quite recently. Stop impersonating people, man. A whole minister she's trying to run away with, you know. Trying to impersonate the minister. Yeah. Look what they're telling us. Caribbean Development Bank is telling us that Caribbean economies are on the rebound. Remember that COVID lashed a lot of we really hard. Right? Lashed a lot of us really hard. Right? What you see how Tobago going to rebound? That wasn't Tobago, no. There's a little bit of spending there too. Right? There's a little bit of spending. If you ask anybody with photographs, people looking like me, Spanish girls, it's not me. I was strictly focused on the business at hand. It's Photoshop. I did a little spending there too. Right? And as soon as I left Tobago, the Caribbean Development Bank is saying Caribbean economies are on the rebound. Who don't know? We're happy to hear that. All goes well for all of us. You know, the rising tide must float all boats. In this country, there's only some boats floating, though. It's only some. Well, you all know once we come home. You know once we touch down. Folks, I trust that you're well. I trust that you're great. Wherever you're joining us from tonight, wherever you're joining us from, respect and manners. Wherever you are rocking and coming from, Respect her manners. Once you come home, you got immigration problem, not too much. You got too much problems once you touch them. You know, we can take care of you. Some of you might be visiting. Welcome. Teacher left all the way on a vacation. The kids and Nevis came home to be boots on the ground with our compatriots, with our fellow teachers. Right? Some of you are saying, me, Deb, you felt a brick behind your little son, you forget the tweet. Life goes on. Touchdown, folks, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. We trust that you guys are good. We trust that you guys are well. So what we're covering locally, very quickly. I see my guests standing by, at least one of them. So I'm moving on very quickly. The wicked, stink, and dirty. That's why y'all know. The wicked, stink, and dirty. Look story here now. Look story here now. That's how they stay. I ain't tell you, I mightn't get you everything on the fight, girl. I tell you in advance, I mightn't get you everything. But this one here got teeth. I ain't tell you, I'll be there. Next thing over here, I'll fire 10 GRA staffers on the spot. On the spot. And this is at the energy conference you got happening there that the place that are selling out. They get the man the place yet? The man that had the highest bid, that they say won the bid. They get the man the place yet? That is what we're hearing. 10 GRA staffers were fired on the spot. I think it's just vexation. The teachers really and truly he one target. Well, let me get this. Let me get the 411. Let me break it down like how Wendy would break it down for you. Now, Ali apparently, I see some of our guests coming in. Ali apparently touchdown. You know, this one come down time. Right? And apparently the folks were not in the booth. As the only GRS have Galash. Tell them one time we're on the spot. Ali fired them. On the spot. Apparently he was walking through. He and the crew. Who tell them to go missing? Like the thing they're telling off. Like it's not too much people with. You know, the attraction was on the outside where the teachers were. Like the thing they're telling off. And when he was going through the different booths, right, nobody was there by the GRA booth. Phone calls were made. Massive fired them immediately. Fired them immediately. That's what I'm telling you. We got one of the letters right there. Fire them immediately. That's what he said. Big story at GRA right now. Some other agencies also in the mix. But I'm told that GRA is a semi-autonomous agency. I don't know how this is going to go down. You can't just do things willy-nilly. The folks were apparently there all day. He come at his own time, and they probably had went off on a break or something. He got vexed because the boots look a little scanty. Everybody don't think they're pulling nothing. And as the leader of the opposition just said, it's pageantry. It's pageantry. Fire them 10 GRA staffers, we told, fired by Air Finale on the spot. It's a fire conference. It's a fire conference. It's a fire conference. I got some folks standing by because there was a big day today. I almost want to tell you how big the day was, but it was a win for teachers. I gave a little hint. It was a win for teachers on two fronts. You see, I see my guests standing by. If they're ready, I just want to give me a thumbs up. And we're going to rock and come in with them. Once they're ready, I see we got a handsome fella, a pretty woman, a firebrand. Once they're ready, good. So, folks, bear with us for a quick second. We're going to switch things up just a little bit. Very, very quickly, folks. We're going to switch things up a little bit. And we're gonna be right back. So we're gonna switch things up just a little bit, folks. We want to bring these folks in. All right. All right, folks. I am happy to be back. And I have with me this evening. Let me make sure I have the right mic in. Yeah, happy to be back, and I have some wonderful folks with me. Well, we can go with beauty before age. Beauty before age this evening, folks. That's what we're going with. Beauty before age. I have joining me the one and only Kimon Gentle, a fantastic educator, and we have also another good educator, great educator, Collis Nicholson, and they're all of the Guyana'S Teachers Union. Sir, welcome. Miss, welcome. You're in the ring tonight. We ain't got no rules here. Then you survived to the 12th rung. Well, you're gone to 14 rungs now. Today was the 14th day. You guys are out there on the front line. You see? And, when I saw the news flashing on the headlines earlier, I remember that scripture, you shall reap in due season if you faint not. Now, two things were said today by the High Court that, one, no deductions from teacher salary, none, until this matter is fully heard. That's what the High Court judge said, Sandal Kisoon. And also, your union dues have to be remitted to the union. The status quo remains. I'll start with Ms. Gentle. Talk to us about what's happening there on the front lines with the teachers' strike nationally by the Guyana Teachers Union.
Thank you for having me on your program tonight, Sherrod. Good night to you. Good night, Guyana. Good night to the world at large. It's an honor to be here to speak to the world about what is happening. Today marked day 14 of the Guyana Teachers Union strike, whereby we teachers would have taken to the streets to demonstrate our frustration with the government's refusal to engage the Guyana Teachers Union in collective bargaining. Sherrod, I must say it is most disgusting, given the fact that Guyana is one of the fastest growing countries. Every time you turn on the television, that is what you hear. Why is it our teachers must take to the streets for 14 days for their cries and their voices to be heard? Every time you turn, you hear, because you care. Because you care. But my question tonight is, because who care? Who actually cares about the teachers of Guyana? That's a big question, I just
big question
want
indeed.
I just want us teachers to draw from the inspiration of the late Bob Marley that says in one of his songs, get up, stand up for your rights. And today we could not have asked for a better favor. And this is just the beginning as to what is to come. What we are doing as teachers, you know what? We are standing, we are making way for the younger teachers who are earning on the minimum scale. You see that scale that the minister has been sharing all the time and boasting about? Sure, it's a mere small percentage of teachers who are actually benefiting. It is just the senior teachers who would have moved from the bottom of that scale to the top. So in actuality, there's nothing to boast about. Absolutely nothing to boast about. And people need to be in the know. People need to be in the know. It is a small percentage of teachers who are actually benefiting, getting something. Yet, we are still saying we need livable salaries because what we are getting, the few of us who are getting it, it is still unable to make ends meet.
Yeah. And I'm happy, Ms. Gentle, how you framed it. It's not a case where we can't afford it. They're telling us how many more FPSOs coming, the big boats and all that we're pumping, and the money that's spending for all the big conferences and the flights around the world and all of that. Sir, what are some of the issues that maybe concerns you? Again, big win for the teachers today in the judicial systems. Your union dues must be remitted to the union. The judge said until this case is heard to its finality, and also your salaries must not be touched. I hope the government listening. Sir?
So thank you very much, Sherrod. Good evening to your viewers, your listeners. And it's a pleasure for myself and my colleagues, Jensen, to be on your program this evening.
Happy to have you.
So thank you. So when we look at what the judge would have said today in the initial stage of this matter, we recognize from the onset that our cause, our industrial action, firstly, is not illegal, because that has been what the government has been championing all the time, that the teachers are on an illegal strike. Now, one has to laugh and laugh loudly, because the judge would have said it today. it is not illegal. For the mere fact that the judge has given a ruling that says that the teacher's salary has to remain the way it is, in terms of it not being deducted or cut by the government, and for the union dues to be remitted by the government and sent to the Guyana Teachers Union, is a clear indication that our strike is not illegal. It's a legitimate strike, and we would have gone through all the phases of the collective bargaining agreement. We would have asked for conciliation. We would have asked for arbitration. And all these things are current in the media, in the public domain. And the Ministry of Labor has neglected to even given us an acknowledgement for our several missives that were sent. So to hear the government rambling and saying that our strike is illegal, I would want to say is very irrational on their part. And they have to understand that the Guyana Teachers Union would not have called out its members if we know fully well that the things we would have done thus far are legal.
Yeah. I know it always goes back to the pockets, and some of the teachers had to have been worried about being paid and meeting their bills and expenses. You're even contemplating as a union and are contemplating how you guys are going to support your teachers with strike relief. And I know you guys might have some numbers I want you to share with our audience soon. But you must feel a sense of justification based on what was said today by the judge, that you would see even more teachers come out on the protest line, because we got a lot coming up next week. I know you are out there during the course of this week, being based in Region 4, making your voices heard outside of the Energy Conference. Next week, you have the heads of government from the Caribbean meeting, some U.S. officials coming. We have the president of Brazil coming. You got quite a few folks are going to be here. All the heads of government of the Caribbean territories, CARICOM, are going to be here. You must feel justified that you have stayed the course, Sir Nicholson, Ms. Gentle, and you have seen the rewards for it in this action by the High Court.
So we feel a sense of relief, because many of our teachers were at a point where they wanted to go back to school because of the threats made by the Ministry of Education, Government of Guyana, that, look, we will cut your salary. But those who are much brave and they understand the struggle continue to encourage our other colleagues who are somewhat in doubt. The Guyana Teachers Union would have taken the liberty to even share with our members an application that speaks to assistance for strike relief. That application, individually, you would have had to complete that application, and you would have had to attach your pay slip to the application, which would have shown us how much monies were being deducted if, I need to stress on that, if there will be a salary cut. And from all indications, I can safely say there will not be a salary cut, because our cause is justifiable, our cause is legal. And so what the threats did was to push some of our teachers back into the school system, push them back into the classroom. Mind you, even though they were there and they continue to be there, the learners were not at school. So it was a total waste of time for our teachers to be there and don't have learners to teach.
Yeah.
The government of Guyana, Ministry of Education, has to understand that educators are critical thinkers. And even though some of us may not be strong like Ms. Gentle and I and others, we think critically, we read effectively and efficiently, and we understand what our needs are. When you look at a teacher's salary, or let's look at a teacher's disposable income, because I don't like to speak about the salary, because you have to look at what the teacher gets after his or her deductions are taken out from that salary. And so how can you expect an ordinary teacher to live on $100,000 per month disposable income when that teacher has his or her rent to pay, that teacher has his or her mortgage or car note to pay, even utility bills? At the conclusion of all of that, the teacher is left with nothing. And so if the teacher is left with nothing, it means that the teacher's livelihood is on the siege, because you cannot feed yourself, you cannot feed your family. And so the government of Guyana needs to understand that we cannot be boasting about oil-rich Guyana, the Dubai of the Caribbean, and your people are suffering. Your people are in poverty. We talk about infrastructure and we're building all these bridges, roads, buildings. Who are we going to put into them if we do not have a healthy, educated population, an healthy, educated human resource? So it's frightening to
Yeah.
listen, understand the rhetoric the government will put out there to say, oh, we care of them. But are you actually showing that care? We don't want to hear the words, but we want to see the action. And it's as educators, we are action oriented. And so come Monday, may I sound the warning, sound the alarm. More will come out.
Boots on
More
the ground,
will come,
slippers on the ground,
and the slippers on the
slippers on the
ground will
ground.
continue.
We heard the Attorney General ask the court for 14 days. He wanted more time to prepare for the case and so on. Did you guys get a sense this was partially ploy to break this strike, to stretch you all out?
Yes, we got a sense. And we all know Anil Nandalal, the learned Attorney General Senior Counsel. We know how we can mince his words well so that he can convince an entire nation, but he cannot convince teachers. And he certainly could not have convinced the learned judge today, because I sat through the proceedings in the court and I'm saying to myself, even though I'm coming from a teaching background, the little understanding I have of the law, he could not have minced that with the judge today. You see, they wanted the 14 days to say, oh, we have to prepare. But it was the very same Attorney General who said in one of the interviews he had that he believed that the court matter is legitimate. There is enough information. Having a court matter with 29 pieces of evidence and 25 instances that you want to have redress for, that in itself is telling us that the Guyana Teachers Union would have taken the right, correct, and bold step to show the government of Guyana that we will not back down. We will not retreat. Our teachers deserve more, and we're not asking for 100, but give us 50. Give us 50. Let us be satisfied. Let us know that you care for us. Let us know that we can spend our monies and still have monies remaining in our pocket. But don't tell us that we have to work before we can get paid. And don't tell us that you're going to cut our salaries, because when you tell us those things, we are going to be aggravated and you're going to rile us up to even come out more slippers on the ground.
Slippers on the ground, we backing out. Miss Gentle, your thoughts?
We're not backing down. I just want to echo what my colleague said just now. They knew very well. They knew. And our General Secretary would have made mention about it. That because when you know a government, you have to know, and we know who we're dealing with. So we knew that they were coming with this plan. They needed more time. But solidarity to the Guyana Teachers Union. Sherrod, we have heard the naysayers who have tried tirelessly to convince us that we ought to be grateful for the crumbs. That's just crumbs. 6.5 is crumbs. You understand?
Yeah,
How can
yeah.
we be grateful for crumbs? And we're not out on the streets because we want to. We're out on the streets because of necessity. We want to be valued. You
Correct.
understand? For too long, teachers have been undervalued and unappreciated. We build a nation. We are ready to take it for the long haul. And like my colleague said, slippers on the ground and teachers will not back down. Come Monday, we expect to have a total shutdown. All teachers across Guyana need to come out. This is a just fight. And we are fighting for nothing but livable salaries.
Yeah, and this is to benefit all teachers across this country. And look, it would appear to us that a lot of people are assessing their values, because we saw these two headlines. For those folks who are now joining us, we're joined by two wonderful teachers out of the Guyana Teachers Union, educators out of the Guyana Teachers Union. We have Sir Collins Nichols Nicholson with us, Collis Nicholson, and we have Ms. Kimon Gentle with us this evening. And we're talking about how things are going on the front line. Two big wins in the court today. One, the union dues must be remitted to the union. They like money, And also, no cutting of teachers' salary. No cutting of teachers' salary. But I saw another union sounding the alarm, Riga Value too. I saw another union, the GPSU, sounding the alarm and saying we fed up of waiting. We're giving this government, a couple of days to make up their mind whether they're going to meet us, whether we can have collective bargaining or maybe more slippers on the ground with the teachers. But that being said, it struck a lot of people as odd. I saw in this morning's paper a former general secretary from the NASI union, saying that the Minister of Labor is not doing his work. He's supposed to be in a conciliatory role between the teachers and the government, but he seemed to have taken a certain position. Were you guys surprised by the position taken by the Minister of Labor?
We were not surprised. We were not surprised. The Minister of Labor should have acted as a mediator between Guyana Teachers Union and the Ministry of Education, the government by extension. We were not surprised because everyone is saying our move is political. This is not a political move. This is a bread and butter move. It is not political. So with him taken aside before even acting as a mediator is no surprise to us.
Yeah.
The fact remains that when one thinks of the Minister of Labor and his capacity as a minister of that ministry, one should speak to him being the person, the go-between person between the two organizations. He has not demonstrated that. As a matter of fact, he has joined with the Minister of Education in saying that the strike is illegal, in saying that the strike is political, in saying to the teachers that we will cut your salary. Now, how can I have confidence in such a person? How could I have confidence in such a ministry? More than that, the Guyana Teachers Union, because I'm a central executive member of the Guyana Teachers Union and the regional vice president, so I'm privy to certain information. And so this union, through its general secretary, would have sent several missives to the chief labor officer. Once there was a response, and it alluded to the fact that the government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Education, is meeting with teachers, when His Excellency would have handpicked a few teachers and have that brunch at State House and ask them what they would like to have. Those are not the representatives of teachers. Teachers would have given their full confidence in the Guyana Teachers Union. This is a professional organization that has been there for over 168 years. Put all the three of us ages combined, we have not gotten the years of this union. And so for you to say that you're in consultation with the Guyana Teachers Union by handpicking teachers, that's so far as we must not accept that. You have not even reached out to the Guyana Teachers Union to say, you know what? We can't afford to give you 20%, but we can give you 10, we can give you 5. You have not even acknowledged our proposal, but yet you sit to say that the teachers are on an illegal industrial action. There was never a time when this government, through the Ministry of Education, would have ever asked for us to sit to talk about salaries for teachers, salary benefits for teachers. The minister said to us in September of 2020, when they went into office in August of 2020, that the Ministry of Education will not be dealing with salary negotiation. It has to be done through the Office of the President. Wow. Lo and behold, there was a voice echoing from the Vice President Barra Jagdeo that it's being done at the Ministry of Education. That's not true. And so when we hear a couple of things coming from the government, especially the Ministry of Labor, one has to laugh because it's laughable, because the lies have been painting left, right, and center. and they expect the entire Guyana to believe that. More so our teachers. And like I said earlier, our teachers are critical thinkers.
Mhm.
We will not sit and allow this government to trample on our rights. We create every other profession. We deserve to be respected. We deserve to have a livable wage. We deserve to be shown to the rest of the world that we are the educators. Every day you hear, oh, Guyana stopped the Caribbean for CSEC and Guyana stopped the Caribbean for Cape. But where are the teachers? Has never been a recognition for any teacher. All you see is recognition for the students. But who would have brought the students to have that measure of success? Teachers,
Yeah.
educators. We have relentlessly put ourselves out there in numerous instances and situations just to make sure our learners would have
Yeah.
learned. And
Sir, on that very note, I was so heartened during COVID when I saw teachers walking the streets in villages to hand out the different packages and all of that. That brought tears to my eyes.
and we would have done that without even the Ministry of Education asking us to do so. We would have done that diligently. We would have given committed service. Miss Gentle can attest. We even bought materials to assist. We even had them at our homes to make sure that they were well prepared for those external examinations. And you're telling us that we don't deserve anything? Come on, man. An ordinary person can have that understanding that teachers deserve very far more than what this government is giving us. And history reminds us that every time this government is in power, teachers have the bad end of the stick. There is no recognition from them, none whatsoever. But you want us to work hard, hard, but you must not pay us right. That has to stop, and it will stop now in 2024.
Again, these big wins in the court today. No deduction of salaries for days missed of school, and also your union dues will be remitted to the union, should be remitted. That's an order by Judge Sandal Kisoon. This matter comes up for hearing on the 14th, I think, of March.
No,
What happens between now and then? I
2020.
know you guys wouldn't want to give all your strategy, but what can teachers? I know a lot of teachers might be on with us now. Expect between now and the 14th of March. Now that we don't have those handicaps.
So, the correction there, the matter comes up again on the 20th of March.
20th of March. Thank you.
It comes up 2 days before the actual closing of the school term. So, like you said, we would not want to give our strategy now, but you will see things happening. Our teachers will be informed by all different means and medium, and we will let them know what the course will be. I want to say to the general public that our matter is of a just cause. And while we appreciate all the support that we have been given to or have been getting from the time we would have started from the 5th of February, we want you to continue to remember us in your prayers. What we are doing is not only for us who are in the system, but we're paving the way for those who will come. Because for me and Miss Gentle and others, to be where we are, there were teachers who were there for us. And so we want to be there for your children. Others who will come into the system will be there for our children and grandchildren and great grandchildren. So our cause is not just only or a win for teachers, but it's a win for the society. I would have seen, just like you, the GPSU giving the government an ultimatum. And I'm saying to myself, welcome, welcome to it, because the time is right. Public servants, the persons who have this country going around and achieving all its potentials on a daily basis, must be treated right.
Ms. Gentle, I can see the president in St. Lucia now pulling out the hair. GPSU, oh my God, come back a lot of gray hair.
Yes. Once again, it is sad that on the eve of the 54th Republic anniversary of Guyana, teachers of Guyana are on the streets, crying for a livable wage. You know why? We are tired of the promises of prosperity and opportunity that have been broken time and time again. We are tired. And so, Shara, the decision of the court today is a testament to the union's commitment to teachers, to let us know that our union is thriving and we can stand on their words, we can count on them. They were elected to serve and they have been doing an excellent job. The fight
Excellent.
is for the fundamental rights of teachers.
Yeah. My penultimate question. Yesterday when I was talking with the General Secretary, she rattled off a number of schools that are still going to full capacity almost, especially a lot of schools here in the city. What do you say to those persons, for whatever reason, haven't been persuaded as yet, or maybe in fear, for one reason or the other? What do you say to them that might encourage them to young tools and to join this just cause?
So some teachers feel that the Guyana Teachers Union could not have supported them in any way or the other. And today's verdict, initial verdict in the High Court, is one which will resonate with those teachers. While on the other hand, there are many teachers who were threatened by education officers at the respective education department. And you would hear them saying, we were told that if we don't go, this will happen. And even to the extent where police officers were going into schools, taking in teachers' information, personal information.
Wow.
And let me say, we have the empirical evidence for all these things. Because
Mm-hmm.
only tonight I was reading from my phone where an education officer threatened her teachers that if they're not there, what he will do. I want to say to the education officers who are human beings, who are past educators, that that will not work. That will not work. Our teachers are going to come out even more, and you cannot stop them. The way for them to be stopped is for the government of Guyana, to the Ministry of Education, to call the Guyana Teachers Union to the table and say, look, we are offering you X amount of percentage. What are your thoughts? And when we can come to that conclusive ending, our teachers will go back to their respective classrooms. This government has no intention on meeting with us. Why would you want your employees to be out on the streets for 14 days? No caring government would want that. 2 days maximum, and there is discussion. But you would like to show that you are the dictators. We are the educators, and we will deal with the dictators in our own special way to remind you that it's because of us educators that's why you're sitting where you are. So our teachers, I can rest assured, they will rest up this weekend,
Uh-huh.
and remainder of the week, it will be slippers on the ground in its full glory. And we're here waiting to hear from you, Government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Education.
3 days of rest. I want to ask you guys a personal question as we talk about the teachers and what might you do to draw them out, encourage them to come out on the front line. What do you do? I mean, that sun out there and hot. I can't remember a day in the last 14 it would have rained. Where do you go for that inspiration? If the cut me pay in K, I going out there and I gonna do what I gotta do. And if other teachers don't come out, so be it. My efforts can benefit them. But I going out. Where do you go for that kind of strength and energy?
If I may respond,
Go
I
right
go
ahead
to
with it.
my Heavenly Father He restored all strength, and from him I have been gaining my strength. Sherrod, as a senior mistress, it wasn't an easy road. Hence the reason why I am standing to pave the way for those TQMs and AMs and so forth. I don't want them to suffer the same way in like manner as how I would have suffered. That is why I am on the streets.
Yeah. And that is leadership. Sir?
So my inspiration, like Miss Gentle, comes from the holy book that I read on a daily basis. And apart from that, I have a passion for trade unionism. That's why I would have entered the Guyana Teachers Union in terms of where I am in my official capacity. And when I look at the members who are there daily, I draw from them that inspiration as an executive member to go forward. And I'm always there encouraging them. And while I'm encouraging them, they're encouraging me because I, being the regional vice president for the county of Demerara, I have to be to and fro all over this county, and it's not easy. And so when I see my teachers stand behind me, I get that sense of pride. I get that sense of energy. Up to yesterday, I was in Linden and I was saying to very Miss Gentle, I said, this can be very tiresome. But when my teachers stood there and they said, sir, we are with you. We are with our union. That in itself has shown me the resilience, and our teacher has been very resolute, which gives us, the executive members, the goal to move and continue to move. We will not rest. Let me reassure you, our teachers, all those who are on the program, we will not rest until we see that your lives, your livelihood is to a place where we understand that you can manage and manage well. And we want to reassure you with that. We want to say to you that you would have elected us as your representative, and we will do it with much pride, determination, courage, and diligence in everything we do, with you being in mind and you receiving every measure of success at the end of this.
Excellent. Well, we wish you guys every success and looking forward to seeing you guys on the front line. You know, while the demands are strong and forthright, we love every aspect and all the flavors that has come into this very protest, whether it's Linden, it's Georgetown, it's Berbice, it's Essequibo. We love all of it. And the creative ways in which you guys have gone about making the case. And certainly you made a strong case today. Judge Sandal Kisunan said the deductions should not happen, rule against that, any salaries being deducted for your absence from the classroom, and also that your union dues should be remitted. Again, if you joined us late, the case comes up for hearing, as Sarah said, on the 20th of March. So a couple of days ahead of us, I can hear the iconic words of Martin Luther King, that great civil rights leader. Dr. Martin Luther King says, we have some difficult days ahead of us. You know, it's quite a few days ahead of us, but I have no doubt looking at you guys hold the line over the last 14 days, that you have that thing in you to keep going, that fire in your belly to keep going and to see this through. And even if you don't have 100% of your teachers out there, what is the beautiful thing about this whole thing and the selfless thing that people will benefit who didn't step a foot on the front line, you know, and to do that for other people, I think, you know, that is gold right there. Final thoughts? I'm big wrap. Anything else you guys want to convey?
Sure. The president, Dr. Mark Light, would have said in one of his presentations, the Guyana Teachers Union is willing and is ready to extend that hand. He also echoed that one hand cannot clap. And so we want the government to know that the Guyana Teachers Union is ready to extend that hand. To my fellow educators, when we stand together, there is nothing that we cannot achieve. Solidarity forever.
Sir, you have the last word.
So I want to echo the sentiments of Ms. Gentle to say that the Guyana Teachers Union is ready to have negotiation talks with the government of Guyana. We are ready, and if you call us even now, even if you call us at this hour, 9 o'clock, we are ready to have those discussions, because we believe in having those discussions will benefit our members. It will benefit the teachers, the educators of Guyana. To our colleagues who are still in doubt, I would want to say to you that even though you're in doubt, we still love you, we still appreciate you, we still adore you, and we will continue to fight for every teacher. We do not have a bias to whether they are members or non-members, but we fight for every teacher. And to the general public, like I said, we thank you for your support, and we look forward for even more support coming from you, because we see where this is going, and we know that every measure of support is much needed. To you, Sharad, and the others, the other media operatives, we want to say thank you for letting the public know through your medium what are our fight, what are our causes, and for them to understand from an objective perspective what we're doing and how we're doing it. And so I want to express our profound gratitude, and we thank you very much for having us on this program. And we know that we will able to be on your program at any point in time to share
Excellent.
the true information that is happening in this regard. So thank you very much.
Valid, incredible. Plan to come back, Sir Collis Nicholson and Miss Kimon Gentle. Thank you so much on such very short notice for acquiescing to my request to coming and sharing and elucidating on these many issues. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, and have a good night.
All right, folks, there you have it. There you have it. In live and living color, that's what's happening on the front lines of this Guyana Teachers Union strike action in its 14th day. The case goes back to the court on the 20th of March. A lot of days are in front of us, ahead of us. And there you have it. There you have it. The teachers saying, come out and continue to support. That's going to do it for us at this end. My apologies, we didn't get through all of the fight card, but I wanted you guys to hear, from the teachers themselves and these representatives of the Guyana Teachers Union. Share the live before you go. Smash that emoji button, folks. Have a happy holiday. Tomorrow, make the best of it. We're going to rest up around these parts. So no shows tomorrow. It's Friday, the 23rd of February. It's a national holiday at our end. Long weekend ahead of us, but we're going to be back on Monday with more valid and incredible information. Folks, thanks for joining us. That's our time. That's our program. Lester and Stacey Ann, Veronica and Wenda, Sharika, Debbie, Edward, Fennell, all you beautiful folks. Ian, good to see you there. Darlene, Charles, good to have all of you on the live. Smash that emoji button for me before you go. Smash it up, folks. Smash that emoji button. If the program has any value to you, share it so that others get the valid and incredible information as well. Smash that emoji button. We're going to see you guys on the next broadcast next week. It's a long weekend. Spend some time with your family. Spend some time with your loved ones. Spend some time with yourself even. Please and thank you. We're going to see you guys right back here in the next one. Mark and Marcia, Cheryl, Beatrice, Karen, Desiree, Rastaman, Angeli, Jamal, Michaela, Candy. Good to see each and every one of you. Have a great weekend, folks. Take care. That's our time and that's our program. Stay safe.